Brooke McClymont is 1/3 of top-selling award-winning Australian country music trio, the McClymonts, who have over 5 #1 ARIA Country Albums, 40 million streams. It's a number that's hard to get a head around. 2 ARIA Awards and 15 Golden Guitars. Adam Eckersley has himself won 5 Golden Guitar Awards, and with the Adam Eckersley Band released 2 high-charting albums. He has also won awards for his songwriting. Together, they released their first album in 2018, and earlier this year won 3 Golden Guitars for singles off their brand new album, Up, Down and Sideways. So there's awards, there's albums, there's a lot to talk about. Hello, Adam. Hello, Brooke.
Hello. Hey, thank you. I'm surprised. Like, you've given me information that I had no idea about myself.
40 million streams. There you go. That is a lot of listening. Yeah. I'm going to say congratulations on this new album, which I was thinking, how do I describe it? It's like a glorious package of life and celebration and reality. And you must be very proud of it.
Oh, thank you.
Cool.
We are super proud of this album. We kind of wanted to expose, I guess, warts and all of what we've been through the last couple of years, Ads and I. And I guess
the good, bad, the ugly.
Absolutely. Up, down, sideways. That's what we've definitely been. So, you know, we're pretty proud of the 10 collection of songs. And I just hope everyone's digging it as much as we've loved making it.
Well, I think they've been digging it for a while now because you've released some singles and it's been all killer, no filler, as the saying goes.
It's so releasing albums. It takes so long. Got to release all the singles, but we've just listened to the whole album in its entirety for the first time in ages and go, yeah, that's a cool album.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. And it represents us as a couple, as musicians, and I just hope everyone hears that through the songs. And I know if there's anything that I know with our fans who connect with us, there's some similarity to what they're going through. So, yeah, we're proud.
What was the very first song written for? Because as you said, there's been some singles released over a period of time. So I imagine the first song was probably written a while ago.
I think it was the star of the show, Roll On Baby and Memory Lane were one of the first few that we obviously wrote for the album.
We cherry-picked Lost If I Lost You that was written donkeys ago, but it was a late addition to the album.
So it was probably the ones that I've just mentioned were the first ones off the cab rank. And I know for sure the last one that we wrote was Country Music, You and Me. We ended up getting the kids babysat by Adam's parents this night. Like, we literally had to lock it in going, listen, I think we're a few songs short for the end. We had a couple, but I think we need just that one fun, festival song that we're really missing, and really that showed our personalities, the fun side of, I guess, our personality. But and I remember we took them in this night, like the daytime. We said, right, we're going to write on a Wednesday, say. And we locked in Adam's parents and we said, yep, we're going to write. So we dropped off the kids, came back home, and I'm not kidding you, Adam and I went to bed
in the arvo
whole day.
Then we got up and went,
we're
going to write, otherwise it's a total stitch up for Mum and Dad.
So we've got to, so we got up and we were like,
nothing was happening, was it?
We made cups of teas. We were like, right, we're going to have a cup of tea. We're going to start. Anyway, got to like 10 p.m. and nothing. So anyway, I went, right.
Cracked the bottle.
I'm pulling out the scotch. And I'm telling you, 3 a.m., it got to 3 a.m. We were having such a great time. And I can say this, we were cracking up laughing during this song. Because I said to Ads, I've got the hook line to this song. And he's like, what is? I said, you're going to laugh. I said, because it's so cheesy. It's so just crazy. But I end up blurting out, Country Music, You and Beer. And then we've laughed our heads off.
So cliche.
You can't have that. And
then we went, let's just own it.
What?
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's our 3 most favourite things. Country, girls, the fans, and we love beer. And I just went, you know what? This is our festival song. And we jagged it. And I remember the next day when we went and picked up the kids, we walked in with our chatter going, we wrote a song. It was a day. So it was awesome. So that's how Country Music, You and Beer came out. It was born.
Probably something to be said there for having the sleep. You needed the rest to clear the mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right. It's the perfect conditions, basically. It's, I do think there's something about that. You gave yourself permission to switch off. You opened your minds, and that's what came.
Absolutely. And you know what? Adam and I, we work pretty good under pressure. And I think if we've got deadlines and timelines, I think that's just being parents. And, you know, I guess it's the age we're at as well. It's like you just don't want to waste any precious time when it comes to work or, you know, anything. So Ads and I really just went, right, we've got to do this. And this is the reason why the kids aren't here tonight. So we obviously allowed ourselves to stay up as late as we had to get the song done. And I think it was a cracker. So it made the
cracker.
And there we go.
Okay, and it's a festival song. But as you mentioned, star of the show, one of the earliest songs written, and it was written with your daughter Tiggy, and that song won a Golden Guitar, which made Tiggy the youngest ever Golden Guitar recipient. But of course, you have now set a very high bar for your child. What's next?
Yeah, we said we keep saying to her, because we have put no pressure on her. She's just, I think, being surrounded, what is it, nature versus nurture? That's the saying. I think she's around it so much that it's just in her and she hears it. So she just gets on the piano and she's really got this natural ability. Have had no coaching. There's been no lessons. We're actually looking into doing that for us very soon because she's really loving it more and more as the years go on. But we just go, you do whatever you want as long as you're happy. She's into craft at the moment. She started her own business and it's called Tiggy Tangles. Yes. And she's making a killing for a 10-year-old. She's just got it.
She did say to us, see, that's all you needed to do to win Song of the Year was just write a song with me. So it's easy as that.
That's an inordinate amount of sass for such a young person.
Oh, seriously, she sounds so up herself. But let's be honest, she's 10. We kind of let her do it.
And she should be loving herself sick, I have to say. I mean, a Golden Guitar at 10. Come on, that's great. Now, you said the album is this album is you, but I also thought the last album was. I thought that was a very honest take on your relationship and very powerful because of it. So I'm guessing that honesty is your default setting.
And I think it just makes it easier to write and to be able to tour it and still be happy playing the songs if there's a connection. You know, I'd like both of us find it hard to sort of act with music. If you connect to it every time you sing it, it's heaps easier to continue singing it and enjoy it.
And we always have found when Adam and I started working together that duo projects are hard enough as they are. As you know, whether it's finding the lyric content or even finding keys for the songs because, you know, female, male, ranges are set different. And then add on that we're married, you know, it's that whole thing of, well, what do we sing about? We can't sing about breakup songs unless we're going through a divorce, which that ain't happening because I'm not giving up half the farm.
That'd be a album when it happened.
Oh, what a crack up. Anyway, that's
off the farm.
She took care of the farm.
Left with the dog.
And the kids. He lived happily ever after.
There we go.
But it's been one of those. So that's always been our biggest challenge, I guess, for our project is finding things that obviously connects with us too, that's in our life. And so it kind of does restrict. There's this little kind of the circle gets smaller, I guess. But I guess we found a way to. Obviously, we're not afraid to be honest with each other and not afraid to expose who we are to the public. And I think it's giving that vulnerable side of who we are and hoping that I know that we are like every other couple out there in the world. You know, we argue, we, you know, have stresses, we are living everyone else's life pretty much the same way or how we think. So this is what's been, I guess, a great thing for us going through this project with this album was making sure that we've been honest enough to talk about that and not shy away from it.
Yeah. And it's also, I think, having the perspective, well, actually, it's the experience you have as songwriters, I imagine, that gives you the ability to have the perspective on your relationship and what's going on in it so that you can describe it in a way that it relates to everyone.
Yeah, hopefully that's what we aim for.
Like, Don't Give Up on Me Yet was purely through, we were, you know, there was a particular time where we just weren't being nice to each other.
Through COVID.
And we really were like, oh, gee, that was a really hard period of time. And yeah, this is not who we are, but we're not being kind to each other. And it was one of those things when I know when we went and wrote that song, we really wanted to be honest with each other. Go, actually, we're pretty mean to each other, and accept that and move on and go, yeah, I put my hand up. I've been
Haven't been my best.
haven't been my best person.
Don't give up.
But don't give up yet. Yeah. I've got some work to do, I guess. That's like,
Look,
yay.
don't we all? Another song I suppose that could be said to be related is Rock Bottom, even though it's tonally that's an upbeat, sounds like an upbeat song, but it is about finding rock bottom. And I know it's about drinking, but I thought also it might be rock bottom to do with COVID. Like basically that was, for touring musicians, that was a rock bottom time.
Absolutely.
That was definitely a song that came out where we did think that we were even thinking today, we're actually having a chat today going, it can also fit through like the rodeo. I know that we're in truck drivers and,
relates to
anyone that's going through a really hard time. I mean, gosh, we all go through hard times, right? And there's a way, I guess, in who we are as people that we kind of go, well,
those careers that just you do them for the love of it, and it might, you see all the glamour and stuff, but you're out there on the highway at 2 a.m. and whatever, and sometimes you go, man,
this is hard.
You gotta quit.
Yeah. Well, and you both know that, and it's I think the work is there in the music. You know what I mean? That experience, that dedication, it comes through in that honesty and authenticity that connects with the audience. And so, like, I know I appreciate it as an audience member, but I'm wondering actually now, as songwriters, if the way you have written together has changed over time.
I learn a lot from him all the time.
And same with you. We've naturally both drawn to different parts of the songwriting process. Like Brooke's naturally a melody person. She just can spit out awesome melodies, and I love getting into a story and lyrics and stuff. So
it's a good combination.
Yeah, when we work together, and I'm learning more about the importance of a melody to tell a good lyric. And we work well together in that.
And
respect.
I guess the best thing about being married is we don't have to be polite with each other because we're in this project. Well, it's like, listen, don't get offended, but that's a really, really crappy line. Can we move on? Doesn't shitty person. It just means right now.
And we don't have
time. And vice versa. We both can just go, yeah, no, that's not real good. And there's, that I guess that's the beauty of working together as well, is we don't have to be polite. We're just like, let's get this. We know what we're after. We know that what our strengths in songwriting, we know what we're after. So yeah, it's a good team.
And we start from a real place of respect for each other's songwriting from the outset. So if we say that's not a great idea, that's not saying you're a shitty songwriter.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying you're better than that. Let's find.
Except it's interesting because for some marriages, I imagine actually the stakes would be too high to be that honest with each other. So I think it speaks to that both of you being very settled in yourselves and confident of who you are as artists.
We've always 100%. embraced the fact that we're humans, the imperfections of humans, just in our relationship in general.
Yeah,
kind of embrace that to allow both of us to talk about it and stuff like that. So, which is cool because you're starting from a point of view of going, well, there's no right or wrong. We're all flawed. So, yeah, you can express it.
And I noticed, I observed this on the first album, and I've seen it on this, heard it on this album as well. The McClymonts have their own musical identity. Adam Eckersley Band has a musical identity. These two albums are not either one of those bands. And so I do really interesting for you as creators that you're able to come up with a third party, but also it's still you individually, if that makes sense.
I think you are 100% correct. So Robbie Desar, our producer, when we sat with him, when we decided he was going to record, be our producer for our record, we really sat down, the two of us, and said, right, here's my wish list and here's Adam's wish list. And we are to try and combine our two loves, which is I love the pop country side of music and Adam loves the southern rock, and make sure the guitar, like he's such a brilliant guitar player that we want to showcase that of our strengths, I guess, on this record. And I honestly believe Robbie has literally just brought out the two of us and combined, like you said, in a blender in one. I just feel like he just shoved it all in the blender, what we've asked for, and it's come out as up, down, and sideways.
Having said that, though, about the Adam Eckersley Band, I do believe If I Lost You was an Adam Eckersley Band song.
Yeah. Never came up as that version of it. It worked as a duo. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lovely I say heartfelt because I can hear it in your voices. But Brooke, when I saw you play live in Sydney recently, I think you mentioned that for the two of you, the you are referring to, it could be read as the audience.
Oh,
yeah.
It took on a new meaning through COVID when we couldn't go and perform and stuff, and we're like, we knew we'd been lost without you guys coming to shows and what have you.
100%. And it really does. That's where I go when I play the song, because when I'm singing, I look out the crowd and go, oh my gosh, how lucky and fortunate. And we're just so lucky that we get to do this for a living, because I feel like I've never worked a day in my life since, being in the music industry for over 20 years. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, God. But yeah, no, it really doesn't. It never gets lost on us how really fortunate and, yeah, just lucky that we get to call this a job.
Well, and you have been touring recently this year, so I imagine it has been great to see people coming out again, because, look, it was an uncertain time emerging from all those venues not having live music, musicians not being able to work. Who knew what was going to happen?
100%.
And we still don't know what's going to happen. We still get shocked. People come to our shows. We're like, wow, this is so cool. People want to hear us play. We love it.
I mean, having seen you play live also in the past, I was observing your onstage dynamic and how the music was flowing, and you seem even more in sync than you used to be, if that makes sense. So I'm wondering if the playing live together, maybe it's after that pandemic break, but that you feel the synchronicity between the two of you and also with the band.
100%. I reckon it's just getting easier.
Well, I think too, during that period of time, Adam and I, we ended up putting on concerts at our house, and we have this business now called Hang at the Wang. So at a period where we thought we were never going to play music, for a long period of time, we found a way to, I guess, keep honing our skills and our craft. And I think in that period of time, because we were playing literally every weekend through COVID, we were one of the fortunate ones, I guess, that could perform. People wanted to come to our property and watch us play. It definitely helped for sure.
And it was a really natural way to go through the songs and put the songs together, because it was in our shed. It was really relaxed and stuff. So if we did screw something up, we could literally stop in the song and go, what the hell are you doing there? We put it back together.
So I feel like when we came out, like when the world got back, to some sort of normal, we had done 2 years of rehearsal. Wow. So when it came to our live shows, it really felt like, oh, we've been doing this for ages, which was, I guess.
Well, and as an audience member, it's a joy when that sense of flow happens in a live. So it's just, and so that's happened. I saw you the Sunset Bass, which was quite a different deal to a small indoor venue, or a smallish indoor venue. But it was that same sense of flow between the two of you and with the band, and also just that you were having so much fun, and it is such a joy to watch that, I have to say.
That's cool.
I always think we do. I always go, the moment you don't enjoy something, well, you've got to look at it. And I've never not liked, I mean, if I can speak on behalf of myself, I've never not liked what I do.
No,
and
it's the best job in the world.
I view life as, you know what? I'm the only one making my own. You can only make yourself, happy. Feel good and happy, and you put out what you want back. And I just kind of go, yeah, it's just joyous what we get to do.
It also sounded like you had fun in the studio. So you've been able to capture that feeling.
I slept studio. I'm a bit of a napper, but yeah, I did a bit of a napper. I do. I just love sitting back and closing my eyes and falling asleep, but also just listening to what's happening.
You could probably hear some in a couple of the bridges.
No,
we should have.
Are you napping or meditating? This is the question.
Oh, hey, that's my secret. I'm not going to give that away.
Yeah, there you go. I'm now going to ask a personal question in the form of, Adam, I'm going to ask you what you admire most about Brooke as an artist.
Here we go. You know what? The amount of times I've obviously heard Brooke sing, and as an audience and also on stage with her, every time she sings, I still am blown away. I reckon she's got one of the best voices in Australia, genuinely. And then as working with her musically, her ability to pick a melody and stuff like that is sometimes frustrating because it looks so bloody natural to her. But I just admire her, the shit out of her. Shit's just natural for her.
And Brooke, I'll ask you the same thing about Adam. What do you admire the most about him?
I love Adam's honesty and the way ever since I've known Adam, he's known who he is. And he has never cared what anybody thinks about him. And he deals with people. What you see with me, or what I get is what everybody gets with Ads. And I just admire that he stays staunch. He doesn't move from what he believes and what he thinks.
Stubborn, maybe.
We know you probably do, but you just know who you are. And obviously his guitar playing's out of this world, and his songwriting, he puts me to shame. Like, I admire how he really cares about a song, and he really cares about the authenticity of where something comes from. So I do give credit a lot to Adam, of even our last record and even this new record. He really keeps us on track, because I can get flamboyant and go, oh, but this rhymes with this, and he goes, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. And I kind of like that, because he keeps me reeled in a bit with that thing. I just think with that, he's just incredible, and he's an amazing singer. He's a great dad, and I just have a lot of respect for him too. He's my best mate.
Well, look, all of that translates onto the album, because, as I said, it sounds like you're having fun. You're completely in sync. And I also admire you both so much for having so much creativity in your lives that you can move between projects, and also just still keep looking ahead and thinking, what's out there? What can we make? What's going to be interesting and fun?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. And
that's the fun of the job, isn't it?
It is. I do love that we just work so great together. And you're right, we can go into other projects and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I love that, we can keep this. Again, we just stick to our lane, I guess is the word I'm trying to look for. And it just go, right, this is feeling good. We're in our 40s now. Like, we're no young spring chickens anymore. Not that I'm saying I'm old either. Like it sometimes. But I also look at it going, move with the times, move with what's going on. And I think it's just whatever feels good and what feels honest with it. Well, we try. We have give it a good up go. But we're super proud of this album. And like you said, it's a 3-time golden guitar album already this year.
I know.
So whatever happens from here on out, we're pretty proud. And hey, look, I'm not going to lie, we're celebrating.
Well, I also think for next year's Golden Guitars, everyone should be scared, because you've already won the 3 Golden Guitars. It's like
celebrating. But you know,
album release day.
It's we're on cloud 9, and I think all the hard work that even all of our team, Universal Records, our social media girl, to everyone, our crew, our producer. Everyone that's worked on to get us to here, it's not just us two. We're just the faces of it. But and our band, everyone who's helped us to get here.
All our band, our live band played on the record too. I think that helps keep the sound sort of us.
And I think too, for Ads and I, we keep our crew really small. We keep our circle really small. And I think that's probably a massive part of why, you can't get so, I guess, caught up in a lot of things either. And I think that's why we are so joyous, because we keep it small and everyone around us is positive and wants to work with us. And it's just a joy.
Well, that live crew, I imagine, will be on the road with you again. Now, you have some festival shows coming up. You have already done some touring, but given that the album's only just out, I would imagine you're planning some more tour dates at some point.
Absolutely, yeah. We got a lot of festivals the end of this year, and we're just putting together the album tour to start January 24, go through to about June again.
And then we start the Wangs again, and it's just
keep on trucking.
Just keep on trucking.
Living in flow. Well, I realise I use the word fun a lot in relation to your music, but that's because it is such a privilege to have a smile put on one's face. So listening to an album, and it really, especially I think out of the last few years, I just been really feeling the need for fun and joy, and seeing you two play live, listening to the album, that is what you offer. Congratulations, Brooke and Adam. It's been great to talk to you.
Thanks, Sophie. Take care.